Welcome students. Today we are going to learn the third lesson of English Kumar Bharti textbook standard 10. Name of the lesson is On Wings of Courage. Video number 3. This is a brief biography of Air Force Marshal Arjun Singh, an icon of India's military history and a war hero. Let's see summary of the lesson. Air Force Marshal Arjun Singh, an icon of India's military history, will always be remembered as a war hero who had successfully led a young IAF during the 1965 Indo-Pak War. The only officer to attain the highest post of Marshal, the Air Force equivalent to the Army's 5-star Field Marshal, Singh was a fearless and exceptional pilot who had flown more than 60 different types of aircraft. He played a major role in transforming the IAF into one of the most potent air forces globally and the fourth biggest in the world. Potent means powerful and effective. Former Vice Chief of IAF Kapil Kak said his contribution to the Indian Air Force is monumental to the least. The IAF grew with him. He was the epitome of military leadership in classical sense, and it is therefore not surprising that he was honored with the rank of Air Force Marshal. Here, monumental means of great importance. Epitome means a perfect example. Singh was honored with the rank of Marshal on the Republic Day in 2002. Sam Harmozji, Jamshedji Manekshaw and K.M. Karyappa were the only two Army generals honored with the rank of Field Marshal. Known as man of few words, Singh was not only fearless pilot but also profound knowledge about air power and applied it in wide spectrum of areas. Singh had assiduously led the IAF during the 1965 war and denied success to Pakistani Air Force, though it was better equipped with American support. His most outstanding contribution was during that war, said Kak. Assiduously means working hard and showing careful attention to details. Commending his role in the war, Y.B. Chavan, the then Defense Minister, had written, Air Marshal Arjun Singh is jewel of a person, quite efficient and firm, unexcitable but a very able leader. In 1944, the Marshal had led a squadron against the Japanese during the Arakan campaign, flying close air support missions during crucial Impal campaign and later assisted the advance of Allied forces to Yangon, formerly Rangoon. Commending means officially praising. In recognition of his fate, he was awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross DFC on the spot by the Supreme Allied Commander of Southeast Asia, the first Indian pilot to have received it. Singh was selected for the Empire Pilot Training Course at Royal Air Force RAF Cornwall in 1938 when he was 19 years old. He retired from service in 1969. Singh was born on April 15, 1919 in Lyallpur, now Faisalabad, Pakistan, and completed his education at Montgomery, now Sahiwal, Pakistan. His first assignment on being commenced was to fly Westland Wapiti biplanes in northwestern frontier province as a member of the number 1 RIAF squadron. After a brief stint with newly formed number 2 RIAF squadron, where the marshal flew against the tribal forces, he later moved back to number 1 squadron as a flying officer to fly Hawker Hurricane. He was promoted to the rank of squadron leader in 1944. For his role in successfully leading squadron in combat, he was awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross (DFC) in 1944. A brief stint means a short period of work. Immediately after Indian independence, he commanded Ambala in rank of Group Captain in 1949. He was promoted to the rank of Air Commodore and took over as Air Officer commanding AOC of an operational command which later came to be known as Western Air Command. On August 15, 1947, he achieved the unique honor of leading a fly past of over 100 IAF aircraft over the Red Fort in Delhi. After his promotion to the rank of Wing Commander, he attended the Royal Staff College at the UK. A fly past means a ceremonial flight of an aircraft passing over a place. Singh had the distinction of having longest tenure as AOC and of an operational base, initially from 1949 to 1952 and then again from 1957 to 1961. After his promotion to the rank of Air Vice Marshal, he was appointed as the AOC in C of an operational command. AOC in C means Air Officer Commanding in Chief. Towards the end of the 1962 war, he was appointed as a Deputy Chief of the Air Staff and he became the Vice Chief of the Air Staff in 1963. He was overall commander of the Joint Air Training Exercise Shiksha held between RAF, RAF means Royal Air Force and RAAF means Royal Australian Air Force. On August 1, 1964, in the rank of Air Marshal of the Air Force, Arjun Singh took over runs of IAF as a time when it was still rebuilding itself and was gearing up to meet new challenges. Took over runs means took over control. Gearing up means getting ready. Singh was the first air chief to keep his flying currency till his CAS rank, having flown over 60 different types of aircraft from pre-World War II era biplanes to the more contemporary Gnats and Vampires. He has also flown in transport aircraft like the Super Constellation. Flying currency means up-to-date skills and experience of flying aircraft. Contemporary means of present times. In 1965, when Pakistan launched its Operation Grand Slam with an armed thrust targeted at the vital town of Aknur, Singh led IAF to the war with courage, determination, and professional skill. He inspired IAF to victory despite the constraints imposed on full scale use of Air Force combat power. Singh was awarded Padma Vibhushan for his astute leadership of the Air Force during the war. Subsequently, in recognition of Air Force contribution during the war, the rank of CAS was upgraded and Arjun Singh became the first Air Chief Marshal of the Indian Air Force. Astute means sharp and intelligent. CAS means Chief of the Air Staff. He remained a flyer to the end of his tenure in IAF, visiting forward bases and units and flying with the squadrons. He retired in August 1969, thereupon accepting ambassadorship to Switzerland. He was Lieutenant Governor of Delhi from December 1989 to December 1990. Forward basis means a secure forward operating military position. Having been a source of inspiration to all personnel of armed forces through the years, the government conferred the rank of Marshal of the Air Force upon Arjun Singh in January 2002, making him the first and the only five-star rank officer with Indian Air Force. Hope everybody understand this lesson. Thank you.